Okay, yeah, we gotta get in the gas station. I can plug this GoPro up. Oh my god. Alright, recording. We are recording. It's like my first vlog style video on my new setup, so it's weird holding like an actual camera instead of like, you know, a cell phone all day. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy here, ACG Afro Car Guy. Today is, I think I just walked through a spider web. That was a spider from this morning. Oh boy, okay. Hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell icon, stay notified on these videos and when they drop. And now let's jump straight into today's video. Today I am with my good friend Morgan.
What's up?
Why don't you go ahead and tell him what's up, who you are.
You know, I'm Morgan from RacerX Performance. We're down here working on this 4G today. Gonna get a little more power out of it, get ourselves set up so when the turbos drop, we're ready to roll.
Yeah, I heard it here first. So Morgan is known to have been tuning pretty much mostly Mitsubishi platforms for a good minute. This is gonna be his first 4th gen he's tuned. So it's kind of a little bit of a learning curve for both of us, but it's still something for y'all to also learn from and see visually what goes on. Because there's very little information as far as like how these cars work in this aspect. So let's get into it. All right guys, so we're just getting everything pretty much set up right now. I'm getting all my cameras and stuff together, and right now we are pretty much transferring the stock ECU to the computer, or the we're transferring the stock ECU to the computer. And again, this is using Fastworks software. And from my understanding, the only person I know that sends out tuning other than Alex, well, is Alex right now. So this is a little more in-depth, like I said, detail as far as like what else can be done to tune these platforms.
Yeah, the point is just limited in terms of, you know, it's not AEM support. Yeah. ECU flash apparently has some issues that were detected, so we're trying to avoid that by going with a program that's built just for the 4G.
Just for the 4G. Okay, sounds like a plan.
Yeah, so what we're starting off with is just kind of looking at the base tune that's already on the car. And with the NA, well, just generally principles of tuning. Yeah. You know, with the EFI tune, it basically boils down to, this is oversimplified, but really, it's fuel, then it's timing, and then it's boost. Right? So in a boosted situation, right? So you start off with your fuel, which is just to make sure all your fuel trims are correct, that your fuel across the whole MAF range, which is the MAF-based car, is in line. Once its fuel is right, then you're good to go with everything else. If fuel is bad, everything else will be messed up. Yeah. And you'll be chasing your tail trying to fix everything because your fuel isn't right. So always get fuel right to begin with. And with this car, with the stock injectors and all that, I'm expecting the fuel to be right. Most of the time people are upgrading their injectors because they need more fuel to support the bigger turbos, and so that's where our work begins. All right, so having said that, then the next thing in either situation is to go after what we call MBT. All right, that's maximum brake torque. What your objective there is try to advance your timing as far as you can go till one of two things happens. Either you stop making more torque, you start to level off, or you start getting knock. In either case, once you've reached that point, that's your maximum brake torque, then you back it off about 2 degrees, gives you a little bit of safety range. And then if you're in a boosted situation, which we will be in the future, then you start adding boost because your fuel's already right, your timing's set up, maximized your timing essentially, and then you're going after boost, and your cars are ready to roll. Okay. So all the time we're watching out for knock. That's our #1 thing we're looking to avoid, because that's the only real problems for your engine. But if you're avoiding knock, you can keep going as far as your engine will take you.
And knock is pretty much when it's the lack of fuel getting to the engine?
No, actually knock means that the octane level of your fuel, octane is the ability to suppress detonation, right? So detonation means either the spark, fired too soon, or what have you, in which case the piston was not in top dead center, right? So once that top dead center, all the air and the gas is mixed appropriately, so that when the flame comes from the spark, it's a smooth extension of that flame, right? It's not really a bang as people think. It's a smooth flame that happens, and basically you're maximizing your piston going up and down. But if it fires before then, or at a time that's not expected to, well, then this is causing problems. Your piston is not in the position where it wants to be or where it's supposed to be, and so you can get problems with your pistons, problem with your rings. Too much of this. It's kind of like essentially like a hammer hitting your engine in this situation, right? So you want to avoid that. 1 or 2 counts of knock every now and then, not a problem. we start to see 1 or 2 counts of knock consecutively, we want to deal with that. And we start seeing counts 3, 4, 5 and higher, we definitely need to address that. So ways of addressing that is 2 ways essentially. Primary ways to reduce timing. Right? Reducing timing will ward off that knock, and also you can add more fuel. More fuel in there also provides a cooling effect, which also reduces the amount of knock. So the last thing about all of that goes back to octane, right? So that's the point when you're running your car at these higher boost levels, whether it be through a turbocharger or a supercharger or otherwise, you're putting more dense air in that cylinder. Right? And the denser the air, the greater the explosion. That's how you kind of get more power out of it. But the chances of detonation get higher now because you got a higher compressed mix in there, right? So engine, the compression ratio of your engine is a part of that equation, but the higher octane fuel you'll have, the less chances you'll have of detonation. So when you're running your pump gas, it's about 92, 93, 91 to 93 octane. It's good, it's okay. When you start getting to your boost situations, you're gonna be running with E85. If you switch over to that, that's basically like about around 109 octane, or you run some race fuel.
Am I able to run E85 just being how I am right now? Is that
you could? Well, there's a whole nother conversation about E85 we can go down. You could probably mix in just a little bit of it and gain a little bit of octane. You don't want to mix too much because your fuel map has to be appropriate for that. Your fuel injectors have to be appropriate for that, and most importantly, your fuel lines, because it can erode your fuel lines. Your fuel lines in most cars are just basically for octane, oxygenated fuel.
Okay. All right, guys. So. Oh, I think the door's still open on this side. Okay, guys, so we're about to do some baseline pulls. I don't know if I just said that a second ago because I'm kind of jumping in and out as far as pressing the record button. But we're finna see what the car does all natural before we start touching anything in its brain. What's the word?
About 211 horsepower. This had to use a.
They're saying the car makes 211 horsepower. No way. So y'all probably remember one of my, I wouldn't say recent videos, but a while back ago I went to like a pop-up dyno meet, and yeah, they listed me about 120 wheel horsepower. I don't know if that was accurate or what the case may be.
Well, I got 211 right here. So a couple things just to caveats around that. So the profile I had to use Evo 9 profile. I wanted to add a profile for the 3000 GT, but guess what? They don't have. I'm sorry, for 3000 GT for the. Come here, open up.
The 4th gen.
Yes,
Eclipse.
they don't have the 4G Eclipse profile. So you got Eclipses, but I'm running up through about 2005 on the GT manual. So
there's not even an automatic one on there, is there? Even for the
one for the 9094 Eclipse. So I said, okay, I'm not gonna do that. So this data is not necessarily exactly right, but what we'll do is use it as just a basis, right? So okay, whatever, maybe it's 211, maybe it's 150, right? Don't know, but we can use this number and we see how we start to improve upon it. Because like I know we did not make 418 foot-pounds of torque, right? That obviously didn't happen either. But all I'm saying is we just use this as our baseline. Come on, let's go ahead. There we go. Then we go from there. again, no love for the 3Gs, no love for the 4Gs.
Exactly.
But we had to do what we got to do.
So we just ran through the most recent revision on the tune, and we gained about, how much would you say, about?
I think about 20, 25 horsepower.
20, 25 horsepower, and it definitely felt noticeably different. That was fun. The software is still a little different as far as like having our specific numbers come through as far as how much power we're actually making, but as far as notice. Okay, so we had to bring it back to the phone real quick. So as I was saying a second ago before the video cut, we did just run through all the basic revisions on the tune and stuff, and the car does feel noticeably different. I do need to get used to having a camera. This is not what I'm used to, but I'll get better at it. So now we're finna see if we can spice it up a little bit with some pop-o and crackle tunes, that type of stuff, just to see what it's like. Ultimately, the overall look on that type of stuff doesn't really do anything other than just, most of y'all probably already know, just to sound cool. It doesn't actually benefit the car in any way unless you're actually running stuff to make that happen on its own naturally, if that makes sense, if I said that right. We're gonna see if we get that going, and then we'll wrap up the video in a second. Hope I can get the camera actually working again, but like I said, the car feels noticeably different, definitely pull a lot harder, and when we get the turbo in and stuff, eventually we'll see how much more of a difference make overall for the build. So I was gonna ask you, how does it feel to tune a 4th gen? Like, is it any different? Does it feel exactly what you expected? Like, what is your...
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Number one, I always love tuning. Tuning is always fun. Anytime you can get a little bit more power out of somebody's car, it's it's a satisfying feeling, right? So we felt the difference on the road, and it's one thing, the butt dyno is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, my car is faster, yeah. But when you actually see the numbers, right, the data is the data, and that's the truth right there. So
right.
We talked about it. Every car coming from the factory, always a little bit conservative. They got warranties, they got to maintain all that. So there's always something left on the table. We take that, right? We want to get that stuff off the table. That gives us a good starting point. So we added about 20, 25 horsepower just through timing alone. And then we said, you know what? Checking for knock. Saw a little bit. So yeah, okay, we're pushing it. We're running on, low octane. Oh, sorry, like premium fuel, but it's pump gas. So we can't do too much with that. We talk about race fuel in a little while. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna dial the timing back just a little bit, just for safety there, and we'll call it a day at that point.
Okay. Cool. Didn't really have much of a chance to really drive the car yesterday, so that's what we're gonna do right now to see what more it feels like. For a short period I did drive before I pretty much went to sleep for the entire day after caffeine and octane. It definitely felt a lot peppier and lively, and of course louder, and all the things that comes with all that, So there's not really much more to it, to be honest. We used Fastworks to pretty much get into the ECU, and then after that we just started messing around with a lot of timing and stuff like that. So it pulls so much harder now. So I guess ultimately this is just my reaction video. I'm not gonna go that way. Traffic's been crazy lately, bro. I need to get somewhere so I can put the GoPro up. I'm gonna do it at this gas station. I'm trying to get my battery sometime to charge. Oh, wow. Dude! That's not even turbo yet! What? Okay, yeah, we gotta get in the gas station so I can plug this GoPro up. Oh my god. I'm actually hoping we got enough gas to make it to my side of town now. Alright, we rolling. Okay. Yeah, so I know it's probably really hard to tell like how I can justify this through camera, but you guys have to trust me that the car feels much different and I'm in love with it. So the next plan now is, now that we have, I guess, a little more power on just the natural portion of the motor, we're gonna add a little more spice to it, like I said. So we're gonna crack in a crackle tune. We're gonna pop in a crackle tune pretty soon. So my understanding right now is, obviously when you're accelerating, power is getting put down. So it's beneficial. And when you're decelerating, and this is just, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's my current understanding, but when you're decelerating, you're not really using anything. So that's pretty much an open space as far as tuning goes to add a little more pop, pop, pop sound. So that's what we're aiming for next. Big shout out to Racer X Performance for helping tune the car. Like ecstatic. Definitely was another way of doing it, but this is the way we went through right now. To kind of give you more experience as far as roll tuning and stuff goes. So not mad at it, just did a different approach. Just say that to say the other approach is if you want to go purely through Alex yourself and have an email sent straight through you, not an email, a tune sent straight through you over the air to your car. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm ready to get this guy on the highway, man. So anyone who doesn't know the basic process of the tuning of the 4G, you have to get a Tatrix cable for one. You got to download, well, you got to pay to obtain a license for a program called Fastworks onto your laptop. So me, I kind of did like a third-party way. So my Fastworks is with my tuner Morgan right now, and that's gonna get transferred to me so I can have most of the control for myself if I want to get extra tunes made and sent. But if you buy directly through Alex, you get that software directly sent to you, and that's how you get pretty much the tunes for your car. Once you pay that $350, it's pretty much all up to you at that point. You don't have to go back for another retune, pay for this and that. The $350 is pretty much that official price tag for unlimited potential as far as tuning. You really feel it up top. Oh my God. Yeah, but once you pay that $350, that's how you get, I can't think of the word, but once you pay $350, you don't have to pay another. Okay. That's exactly what I needed. Okay. So, yeah, okay. As I was saying, but as you pay the $350, there's an additional, I think, like $150 for like the boosted patches you need to add to the software you have for your car to handle boost, which is what we're gonna be getting into next. But since I already paid my $350, it shouldn't be too much backtracking I have to do since I was gonna pay that $350 eventually. So now, at this point, honestly, after we get the burble tune or the crackle tune, whatever you wanna call it, put in, gonna ride that for a bit, kind of have a little childish fun with that. I'm super excited for it, by the way, because I wonder what the car is gonna sound like. And we're gonna ride this out until we get the turbo in. So the turbo, we should definitely be making well over 250 wheel horsepower, and considering how the car feels now, just with like a basic extra 20-some horsepower, I really think that near 300 horsepower figure is gonna make this thing feel like a freaking death trap, and I am excited for it. Yeah. As far as the tune goes right now, it definitely opened the car up as far as top end power. That was always the big failing point with this car. It was quick to accelerate for the most part off the line, but it really fell on its face as far as gaining high end top end power in the RPM range. And it really, like I said, once you made it past 100, it felt like it had nothing more to give. This, however, oh boy, it feels like it just wants to go and go. And it's still, this is just minimal mods, a short ram air intake, and a straight pipe from the third cat back. So super excited to see what's gonna come out of this car performance wise really soon, guys. Man. All right, guys, well, I think that's just about to do it for this week's video. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. For any other questions about what's going on with the build, or if simply you want to have answers for your own build, feel free to hit me up whenever you can, and I'll try my best to reach back out to you. I try my very best to document everything for this car, at least as of now, since I missed most of the Rocket Bunny build. But as of now, you guys have my full attention with the platform. So that would just about do it. I'm thinking big shout out to Alex for helping, you know, guide me through the performance aspect. Big shout out to Michael, the dude who pretty much made Fastworks from my understanding. And big shout out to Morgan for helping come down this past weekend to tune the car. So things are looking really exciting, guys. So I'll catch you later. Hold that dream.